In the busy coastal city of Monrovia, where the sound of the ocean mixed with the voices of market women and the horns of passing taxis, two young women were building a friendship that would change their lives forever. Grace and Patricia were university students who shared a small rented house not far from campus. The house was simple: two small rooms, a tiny kitchen, and a narrow veranda where they often sat in the evenings to read or talk about their future. Though the space was small, it was filled with laughter, determination, and hope. Every morning before sunrise, Patricia would wake up first. She would sweep the yard, fetch water, and light the coal pot to prepare porridge or rice. Soon after, Grace would wake up and join her. "One day," Grace would say as she stretched, "we will have a big house with a modern kitchen." Patricia would laugh. "Yes, but you will still wake up late." They would eat together, dress, and walk to campus side by side, encouraging each other as they went. Although they lived together like sisters, their backgrounds were very different. Grace came from a wealthy family. Her parents were successful business owners with shops and properties across the city. She had grown up comfortably and never had to worry about school fees, books, or daily needs. Patricia's life was different. Her parents worked hard just to survive. Her mother sold tomatoes, onions, and peppers in the market, while her father repaired old radios, fans, and any small electronics he could find. Some days were good, but many were difficult. There were times Patricia almost missed classes because her fees were incomplete. Still, she never complained. Grace noticed everything, but what mattered most to her was Patricia's strength, humility, and determination. Their friendship had begun during their first year, when Patricia helped Grace find a lecture hall she couldn't locate. From that day, they studied together, supported each other, and eventually decided to live together to save money and stay focused. However, not everyone understood their friendship. Some classmates whispered, "Why is a rich girl living like that?" Others said, "That girl is just using Grace." One afternoon, Grace overheard students talking about them. When she told Patricia, her friend simply smiled. "People will always talk," Patricia said softly. "What matters is what we know about each other." And so they ignored the criticism and continued working toward their goals. One semester break, Grace decided to visit Patricia's family. They traveled to Patricia's community where zinc-roofed houses stood close together and children played in the dusty streets. Grace saw Patricia's mother behind a small wooden table, carefully arranging vegetables to attract customers. She also met Patricia's father working in a tiny corner using worn-out tools to repair an old radio. That evening, they sat outside as the sun went down. Patricia's parents spoke about their struggles and their biggest wish: to grow their small businesses so they could support their daughter without constant worry. Grace returned home thoughtful and quiet. That night, during dinner, she spoke to her parents. "Mom, Dad," she began, "Patricia's parents are hard-working people. They don't need charity, they just need an opportunity. If they can grow their businesses, they will be able to stand on their own." Her parents listened carefully. They had always trusted Grace's heart and judgment. After careful planning, they agreed to help. Instead of giving money freely, they provided business support and training. Patricia's mother was helped to move from a roadside table into a proper mini food shop with shelves and better supplies. Patricia's father received new tools, training, and assistance to open a small electronics repair and sales kiosk in a busy area. When Grace shared the news, Patricia was overwhelmed with emotion. "You did this for my family?" she asked, tears in her eyes. Grace held her hand gently. "No, your parents did this. They just needed someone to open the door." The journey was not easy at first. There were slow days and small mistakes, but Patricia's parents worked harder than ever. They followed the training, managed their stock carefully, and treated customers with honesty. Gradually, their businesses began to grow. Customers increased, Income became steady. Patricia's school fees were paid on time. Her parents repaired parts of their home and even began to save. Back at the university, the gossip about Grace and Patricia slowly faded. Some who once criticized them began to admire their friendship. Others remained silent. But the two friends never focused on what people said. Their routine remained the same: morning cooking, long walks to class, late-night studying, and endless encouragement. During their final year, they often sat on their veranda talking about the future. "I want to help grow my parents' company," Grace said one evening. "I want to create opportunities for small businesses." Patricia smiled. "And I want to start my own business. One day I will also help families like mine." Years later, their dreams began to come true. After graduation, Grace joined her family's business and became actively involved in helping small entrepreneurs grow. Inspired by her parents' transformation, Patricia studied entrepreneurship and eventually started her own business. It began small but grew steadily. She employed young people and trained market women on basic business skills. Their lives had changed, but their friendship remained the same. They no longer lived in their small student house, but they visited each other often. Sometimes they would laugh and remember the coal pot, the shared lamp, and the days when they had nothing but determination. People often asked them the secret of their strong bond. Grace would smile and say, "True friendship is not about wealth or status." And Patricia would add, "It is about lifting each other up without pride and receiving help without shame."